No, it's okay.
Hi, Leona.
Hey, Paul,
How are you doing?
might be just you and me.
Oh,
Great. We're coming
Oh,
on.
no, there we
I'd
go.
asked Leona how you're enjoying the snow, but you're not here.
I'm not.
There's lots. Too much.
lots in Calgary today too.
Oh.
How are you doing?
Me.
That's okay. We need it. Although I'm not upset that I'm not there.
Oh, hold on. That's me. That's me echoing. There we go. We're good now. You're good now. I was like, ooh, that's a delay. Yeah. We're good now. Okay.
So are we ready?
9:30. Yeah.
Call to order at 9:30. And we live.
Yes, we're live. So we have
Okay, adoption of agenda.
two things.
Okay.
One is 5.1, or yeah. Oh yeah, it's only one, sorry. 5.1 delegation draft strategic plan to be moved to next meeting. Okay, but that's a resolution. Oh yeah.
Okay, but we still need to record that in
Yeah, exactly.
as a change in the agenda. So when we get to that part, we'll just have a resolution to defer it, or can we defer it now?
Right. Wait till you get to the end.
Okay.
We are at the agenda. Adoption of agendas, number 2. We did call the meeting to order. Yeah. Yeah. So just everything should be
And
good.
then the addition that you sent out earlier.
We already.
It's in there.
It's in there. Yeah.
Oh,
we're
okay.
ready.
Okay.
It's in the new agenda.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll deal with that resolution when we get it, and that's just deferring it.
Yeah.
So move the agenda.
Sorry, Leona?
Just move the agenda.
Yeah, so we're gonna move to accept the agenda
Yeah, as amended.
as amended. Okay, previous council meeting minutes. Any changes,
I
Just one On
Okay.
5.2, it should be decks, not desks.
Decks, yes,
Oh,
good
deck.
call.
Um,
Change the S to a C or, yeah, decks.
from my end, I was recorded as being on Zoom for that meeting, but I
Oh,
was
yeah.
there in person.
Yeah,
Oh, good call.
And I think there was one typo I saw on it. Let me just scroll down here. 11.1, board minutes, not boat minutes.
ah.
Not that that makes a huge difference to the thing, but
You got him? Yeah, I got him.
Okay, good
otherwise I
catch on
can,
that.
otherwise I can move to accept the minutes.
Okay,
As amended,
so
yeah.
moved, all in favor, yep. Okay, next we'll go to
5.1.
5.
No, 6 foot.
We have
Gonna
to,
do
we
a
have to have a
resolution.
resolution
Oh, it's
to,
apart? Yes.
yeah,
Okay.
so resolution, to, oh, sorry, just trying to.
Please be advised that the delegation was unable to attend due to personal reasons, so we'd like to defer it to the next meeting.
Yeah, so defer it to next month. I'll make that motion. Any discussion on that? No, okay, all in favor? Okay, delegation is deferred. Bylaws, we're gonna put the dead standing tree policy to bed once and for all.
No, I don't know.
Oh, maybe not. Okay, Paul.
That's
You're
why I'm doing
up.
this one remotely because
You don't wanna get beat up?
That's why.
Okay, what do you got? So we've revised this a couple of times just to try to get tweaked. What do you got, Paul?
okay, Leona's got her hand up. Do you want to go first, Leona?
I just wanted to know why that it's not listed that felled trees may not rest without being cut up and removed. That doesn't seem to be an option anywhere in there. And like, is that part of the application process, part of the approval process? What is it? But as a resident reading that, I understand that if I cut a tree down on the MR, I've got to get it out of there, right? It doesn't look like I can just fall it and let it land where it may.
Did we not say depending on the CAO discretion?
No,
No?
I kind of had that concern too, and I think we've tried to address this a couple different ways, and we keep missing it by a little bit. Because according to Alberta Environment, it's best to let dead laying trees lay. It's better for the environment.
So where do you want?
Which section?
Add it into a section and just kind of summarize
The
it.
biggest thing is we didn't want trees to be stumps and debris and branches to be stacked. That's what they did not want to see on the MR and the ER areas. They didn't want them to be stacked because then they're going to create like flow of water and flow of everything. Whereas if it's just a tree laying down there, right?
So I think you could add that, and I mean, you guys have got better eyesight than me sometimes, is under number 7, you're saying any salvage firewood must be moved to private property and not stacked. So that is there.
Yeah.
I think you could add one in there, you know, felled trees may lay where they land and not be removed if they are left intact.
I think you could just say, even could perhaps say something along the lines of felled trees may be left lying where there is, or if cut up for firewood, the firewood must be removed to private property and not stacked in place or not stacked on reserve lands.
Yeah, it's
So
already there.
What if 7.2
7.2.
and 10.1.2 two kind of converge
Together.
together, because that one says all cleanup and removal work must comply with Alberta Environment Police requirements and conditions.
So if we're gonna leave felled trees there, I don't know.
So
That's another
not
section.
stacked on municipal reserve. But that's talking about the stacked stuff.
I think they're separate.
I think they are.
I think if you add, 7.2, but add, I like the way you said that, Paul. And it was, all like felled trees. Are,
May
Okay.
rest where they land
yeah,
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 and not be removed. Because you've got 7.3, then any salvage firewood must be moved to a private property and not stacked. So they're two separate things.
okay,
okay, so we're adding a 7.2
I think so.
and then
And
everything,
bumping it.
yeah, everything else gets bumped, yeah.
Yeah, they're separate things.
Okay,
Okay. And Paul, sorry, does that address yours, Leona?
Yep.
Okay, Paul, did you
Okay.
have something different?
Yeah, I've got something additional on that. I still am troubled by lack of clarity on when the municipality fells a tree and when we're leaving it to a resident to coordinate that. In section 6.5, so municipal removal criteria, a dead standing tree qualifies for municipal removal if appropriate application for adjacent property owner is obtained. So that's kind of implying I apply for I say I'm concerned with a tree and it's an appropriate application, and then the municipality will remove it. But then we go into section 7 and it talks about resident removals, and there's no clarity for me on when and where who is given approval for doing it. So I don't think we've got that figured out ourselves yet, and I certainly don't think we've got it specified in this policy. To me, it kind of reads both ways.
should 6.5 move to 7?
6.5.
and we go,
Move into 7?
Yes, but there is instances where the municipality would remove it still, isn't it? Like, or are we anything
Yep.
that is not fall?
So
Like, would we say there's no cases where the municipality would remove a dangerous tree if it's only
No.
impacting a private property?
but would it be through so okay, so we use Paul's example, of a tree that's gonna try and get your garage. You do the application process, and then Dean, wouldn't it just be through the application process that it would be either municipal, like, yeah, Melissa says, yeah, that tree is a hazard, so it needs to be removed.
And either we will do it or we'll give permission if that person's asking.
But how do you decide?
How do you decide whether they remove it or we remove it? And first of all, I guess, why wouldn't we remove the tree? In what case would we not remove a dangerous tree? A dead, dangerous tree that could,
If we find it's dead and dangerous, we must be dead based on,
yeah.
we would remove it.
So
If
in
we
what
can
case
get
would
there.
what case would we suggest that they remove it, not us?
I think it go either way, because sometimes people will have an arborist come in that they're already doing stuff in their yard, and they ask, like we've had that before, where could we just get rid of this tree? It's dead. It's hazardous. Like, yeah, Melissa. Like, if your arborist wants to do it, or whoever's cutting the tree, we'll allow it. If not, then we would send our guy to go do it.
But then again, it comes down to what if we don't think it is a hazard?
Then it goes. Does it meet your hazardous tree definition?
So I guess this is where this policy is still, we're trying to find that balance, right? People think And if we find out and their arborist can tell us that, yes, it's a hazard, then we would authorize it. Even though we thought it wasn't, but we don't have the credentials for it, right? We're caught in this.
Where's our
It's a
definition?
vicious cycle that we're caught in.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think you guys were on the right track. So if you take a look at 6.1, poses an imminent hazard to municipal constructed roads, trails, or public access. 6.2 threatens municipal infrastructure or shoreline stability. 6.3 has a reasonable fall path that threatens the adjacent private property where failure is foreseeable. And tree removal work. So if you take 6.5 out, move it down to 7, you've qualified it there because you've said in 6.1 a dead standing tree qualifies for municipal removal if it meets these conditions. So all of your conditions are there. It's just that 6.5 muddies it.
Shouldn't 6.4 and 6.5 be together? Because as I read it now, has a reasonable fall path that threatens adjacent private property where failure is foreseeable or an appropriate application for adjacent property owner is obtained. It's giving you options.
So couldn't we say?
But why would they?
Go ahead.
It's not appropriate application. I would say that at that point in time, so I've got a tree that's standing beside my property. It threatens to fall on my shed. I asked them, and it's on the municipal reserve. I asked the council to remove it and they say no. So then it is it's not necessarily an application. It is a request for review application is obtained.
So
So
under
it's not
7,
the same as a regular application.
Right.
It's okay, council, I don't agree with you. I really want to have this tree removed. Here, I want you to reconsider this. So
Yes,
to me,
so
that's what should be there.
if we left 6 the same, but put in a qualifier right under the title of 7 and say if the following still applies, because the ones above still have to apply. It has to be dead, it has to be threatening. But I'm not even saying my shed, it's going to land on my lawn and potentially hurt somebody. I don't know.
Yeah.
But a resident disagrees. I think 7 then should say something to the effect of if a resident still or disagrees or wants to feel strongly or something to that effect, then they can request. Then that's the second step. And then they can request to remove it given these things. That's still kind of sloppy though, isn't it?
Yep. Because we've got resident removal criteria and requirements.
But it needs a qualifier. Why would the resident ever remove it? Because we've already determined that if it's dangerous, we'll remove it.
Mhm.
Right,
So
but
what-
if it's not dangerous, if it's simply something that it's, yeah,
Or they may have a different definition of what's dangerous to them, which is fair enough. People have different levels of risk tolerance.
yeah,
So if they,
Yeah.
if we agree it's dead, a dead tree is ultimately going to fall down at some point in time. It's not going to stand there dead forever. We feel it's not a high enough danger to require municipal removal. But if a resident feels that they want to take down that dead tree at their own expense, as long as it's still a dead tree, we could give them permission. So it is kind of, I guess you could word it that, if the resident disagrees with the Summer Village's assessment that the tree is
not dangerous.
or not sufficiently dangerous, or I don't know, like Dangerous and not
If the
dangerous,
municipal-
it's a gray area.
Yeah, if the municipality determines that the tree is not going to be removed by the municipality, a resident may apply for removal at their cost.
That sounds good. I like that.
Copy that off the transcript, hold on.
Where do you want that put in? What section?
Right
I
above,
think that has to, a 6.5 has to come out, the or has to come out, and then you put that down in 7.
Yeah.
and it's almost the introduction to 7, so it's,
Remove 6.5 and introduction in 7, right?
no,
Okay,
you put her introduction into 7 first.
Yeah.
okay,
Tree,
So the introduction into 7,
what going
we're gonna get this.
if the municipality determines that the tree is not going to be removed by the municipality, a resident may apply for the removal at their cost.
Yep,
Perfect.
And then the criteria goes down below.
Proof
Then-
removal
Yeah.
must.
That works.
It up.
That
Okay.
works.
Yes.
hold on, I'm just copying still what Leona said,
Cause technically, 6.1,
so this would be
which I
it.
think is a little weird the way it's set aside, it only applies to constructed roads, trails, and public access.
Correct.
If it's just a tree that's standing in the MR that might fall on their house or fence, we still would be required to remove that?
It's covered under the oars under it.
Yeah, it depends.
Okay,
It's a little bit
or is
confusing
it a
because
fallback? Yes, it's covered by 6.4.
yeah,
Just-
it's a little bit confusing because the formatting is all kind of screwed up. Like it says 6.1 and then it indents into 6.2, but
Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll fix that, I don't know
okay,
what
Yeah.
happened,
yeah, 6.1 just needs to be shoved over, fair enough.
yeah,
Okay, I
I
think
have to go answer
if we use Leona's suggestion as the precursor to say, if you still disagree, here's your process to get that removed,
I
or
agree.
to remove it yourself.
Does that make sense?
I like that,
yeah,
and I think then the rest of it is pretty clear.
yeah, I think that gets a lot better.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
We're
We'll
getting
have
there.
enough by spring.
And I like the fact that we left in that tree removal is not permitted for view enhancement,
Yes,
creation of private trails, or storage areas, or any other purpose not approved. Yeah,
yeah, I like that.
good to
And-
specify that.
And I do like on there that we'd say, yes, a tree does not have to be removed once it's fallen. It can be left in place.
Okay,
That's good.
are you making that motion, Leon? I'm sorry, Paul, did you?
I
have something?
am.
Yeah. Oh, a couple other quick things while we're doing it. Just looking down through the forms a little bit.
Okay.
Now they may need to be reviewed again with our revised wording just to make sure that they
Yeah.
kind of fit with that. But on Appendix B, tree removal application form, property and tree location, check 1. And then there's 3 different possibilities. I think that rather than saying check 1, you should say check all that apply because it could conceivably be all 3 of those things.
Check all of it.
Yeah,
Instead of check one.
Okay.
yeah. And
I like the fact that the two forms are, one is saying, I would like this removed, can you remove it? And then the second one says, can I remove it? Because I still think it's a problem. That's
Yeah.
good to have.
Yes. And then it's also got one for us too, to make sure that we're checking
Yeah.
everything off.
and then going down to the tree removal approval letter template. Just where it says your request has been approved subject to the following conditions. I think we can enhance that to kind of include all the different things we've got in the bylaw. It includes some of them, but not necessarily all of them. That would be where we would reiterate, tree may be left
Yeah.
lying where as is. If cut up for firewood, the firewood cannot be stacked on reserve lands and just to cover all the things in the bylaw so that the resident
the
doesn't have the
bylaw, yeah.
excuse, well, I read the letter and I followed the letter, but missing other things that we don't mention in the approval letter.
has been approved subject to the following conditions, and we should reference it in the policy under 7.7.
Reference
Right.
it, and I think you repeat it too.
Yep. Okay.
Don't give the residents excuses to say, well, I didn't know, when we could have easily just put it in the approval letter as well.
Yep.
Okay,
Make sure.
anything else, Paul? Did you have one more? No?
Nope, that's my list.
Okay.
I'm getting
Leona?
quicker each meeting on this.
Yeah, no, well, this one's been long because it's challenging. Leona, are you, you're making a motion to approve it with the changes or
Amendments, yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
so approving with amendment.
Yep,
Woo!
all in favor? Okay, passed. Moving down to, oops, sorry, let me just get there.
Yeah, I don't know where-
Dog bylaw.
Sorry.
Hold on.
Yes. Okay.
So this one was a expansion revision to make it, to help it fit the provincial legislation and enforcement.
Yes.
Um,
And the noted conditions from the last time we were in court over a dog issue, there was some things that we couldn't, the courts couldn't deal with because we weren't clear.
okay, so this clarifies it. It does not really expand the dog policy. This is more clarifications.
It's more clarification and some amendments of sections we didn't have.
Okay,
Okay, so, because we've had one situation and it's gone to courts and this is what they provided back as feedback
okay,
on our bylaw. And then I did animal control, reviewed the bylaw that you guys are being presented right now. And we are in a second situation that we're awaiting a court date to see what happens, so if you guys, after review, feel it's okay, I would like to do first reading today, just to put it onto the books. And allow time to review it further. But it
So
has
So
been
I'm
re-
sorry, Melissa, I'm not understanding your timeline here. If a court date has already been set for the second one, the old bylaw would apply, not the new one, anyway.
Correct, but because you can do all three readings if you wish, but sometimes it's good just to do first and second or first, because then it puts it on the table and it allows other people to have time to review that it's coming back and that there will be some changes. And allow
Oh,
that.
okay, I didn't understand what you were saying, so yes, I agree with not passing it on the third one, that's fine, because it allows everyone. I have some concerns, though. 2.95, it says a person to whom a license has been issued. We've said that we are not going to license.
Mhm.
So I don't believe that that needs to be in there.
I
that
agree.
occurred a few times, I noticed.
So that
Yeah.
was, that's why now this is the draft.
Yeah.
So we should,
What? Tell me again,
2.95 under owner's definition.
oh yeah.
Because we don't license, but just every bylaw there has all this stuff in there in case you decide you're gonna license. but
Yeah,
then-
and you just, yeah, you missed taking it out.
Just
Yeah.
The other one is 8.2 that I noticed.
8.2,
8
no
point-
owner shall give away or otherwise transfer on to a dangerous dog without prior written. Okay,
No owner shall sell, give away, or otherwise transfer ownership of a dangerous dog without the prior written approval of the village. I don't think the village can approve that. I think
Without
it is-
notifying,
notification, exactly.
I saw that too.
Yeah,
We
me
can
too.
stop somebody from doing that, but we can require that they notify us.
without prior notification
Uh,
of the village.
Because
I
if
don't
that
think
dog
it's
gets,
required.
if the dog gets sold to somebody else in the village, we want to
Oh,
know where that dog goes. We
Without
can't stop the
notification.
sale, but we can, at least we know where the dog went.
Well, what if the dog is sold outside the village? Do we really have a right to be notified?
Then we,
Yes, we want to be
yep,
notified
because-
that there's no longer a dangerous dog.
Okay.
So just,
Yeah.
without
Okay, well, hang on, because no owner shall sell, give away, or otherwise transfer ownership of a dangerous dog without the prior written approval of the village. So what you're saying is without notification? in
No,
writing?
I think you say
No.
owner shall provide notification if they sell, give away, or otherwise transfer ownership.
Yeah,
There's no in there, just owner shall
Owner shall. Perfect.
provide the village with notification if they sell, give away, or otherwise transfer ownership.
Okay,
Because that affects a couple of things. One, if they were required to post a dangerous dog sign and all of a sudden sign has come down, now we know that the dog is gone, so it's okay. We don't have to get excited, right?
Do you want written notification
So-
or just verbal is fine?
Notification, I think, is
Okay.
fine.
okay,
Well, I'd put written notification.
yeah, I think
Okay.
written I would prefer.
Okay,
And then the last one that I had in section 11, release and disposition of impounded dogs. Nowhere in there does it say that those dogs, after a certain amount of time, may be euthanized or surrendered to shelters.
Unfortunately, because we are contracted, we don't do this ourselves. We kind of, after a certain time period, it's the pound looks after everything and it's in their hands.
it does say somewhere in there that the contractor after a certain period of time becomes the owner of the dog, and then I guess it's up to him or the contractor then to say whether it goes to another rescue facility or euthanized or whatever.
Okay.
But
And
I did have a concern related to that. 11.1, contractors shall keep the impounded dog for a period of no less than 3 days. So if my dog gets picked up by the pound and I call the pound and I say, "Oh, great, you found my dog. I'd like to come get it today." I have to wait 3 days to get it. Why is that?
no less than 3 days. They will hang on to it no less than 3 days.
Right. So it's picked up today. I have to wait until Friday before they'll let me pick it up.
Or isn't that meaning that they will keep it no more, like,
No less than
More than 3 days?
The contractor will keep the impounded dog for a period of no less than 3 days. So if they pick it up the one day and you get a hold of them knowing that your dog got picked up and you're gonna pick it up the next day, that's still within that 3 days.
they're not gonna
No,
keep it longer than 3
the
days?
first sentence and the second sentence are against each other.
Oh,
So how do you guys want that? Do you want me to have that rechecked? Why don't I take 11.1 and ask the animal control to review that section again and give us some more feedback?
To me, that says the contractor's going to keep the dog for a minimum of 3 days.
Yeah,
That's the way I read that.
And then it says during this period, you can redeem it at any time. So it.
Well, okay, so rather than a period of no less than 3 days, the contractor shall keep all impounded dogs for retrieval for a period of 3 days.
Retrieval. Period. Of 3 days.
And if you put the word retrieval in there, then it doesn't matter when.
Yeah.
I think that we'll amend it and then we'll have them review and provide us feedback on that section because
Okay.
that is contractor. I would
Yeah.
prefer they give us the
I'm
feedback.
just not sure what the 3 days is meant for.
We'll get that clarified
Okay.
for you.
Okay.
That's why.
But
It
yeah.
means that after 3 days, they own the dog and they can dispose of it however they see fit.
Wow.
Yeah.
That seems like a short period of time.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I will verify because every agency may be different, so I will verify with them on that section 11, just to make sure that we're good.
So what you could say, the contractor shall keep for owner retrieval of impounded dogs for a period of no less than 3 days. where I got hung up is it just says the contractor shall keep for no less than 3 days, which means I come in and I say I want my dog back, and they say it hasn't been 3 days yet.
Well, and the other side of it is after 3 days, they can give it up for adoption or they can
Yeah, so you
euthanize
better show
it.
up right at that 72-hour mark because that's your only chance.
Yeah, that's kind of scary. So I want to clarify why that is there and
Yeah.
what's it.
But yeah, so it's basically that, you know, for 3 days they're saving that dog for the owner to come and retrieve it. And the owner can retrieve it anytime during the contractor's hours during that 3 days. But I don't think it words that exactly correctly.
Okay,
Right.
so 11.1, we'll have it re-reviewed with the animal control contractor.
Are we okay with the rest of the aggressive, the dangerous dog,
I had a few comments on it to go through.
Okay,
So I already talked about the licensing of the dogs. Just a typo in section 2.14. Reasonable. The word reasonable should be reasonably.
2.4, it's in the definitions.
Reasonably, why?
Yeah. Yeah. General offenses. So, couple of questions on it. Just curious, the 3.1F, there's quite a bit of verbiage through the bylaw about exercising the dog while the owner's driving along in a vehicle. Is that typical in dog bylaw?
Yes,
Yeah, it
is it a typical practice or is it
it's
typically
typically seen.
okay, but do we-
Is it a typical thing to prohibit in a dog bylaw?
yeah, that's the other thing.
I'm just curious on that because it kind of stood out to me a little bit.
I guess from my experience in rural settings and in a small community, I have seen where people have their dog while they're driving, exercising it out their window
with a leash.
I've seen that too.
Oh,
with
And
a
they
leash,
run it over.
some without. I have seen it with quads where they're racing down the road.
Paul's
Dog
question
right
is
there.
this prevalent in other bylaws?
So,
Yes.
so the concern is that it's not safe for the dog and it's a traffic hazard for other traffic as well. Is that the concern?
Would that be a responsible pet owner? I don't know. What do you
Yeah.
guys think?
Okay.
I look at it as there's lots of issues there.
Okay.
That's why most bylaws have it.
Okay. Well, that's fine. I'm fine with that being in there. What I don't see in here under general offenses is just a dog being off leash. And but yet in the fine section, there's a fine for dogs being off leash. So we have on here
Running
that.
at large.
Running at large.
That's off leash, running at large. Ooh.
Oh, okay. So
Where's that defined?
3.1B.
Yeah, 3.1B.
Yes, but where is that defined? That it is.
Oh, running. Oh, you want a definition?
Don't, isn't
Okay.
that,
Yeah,
yeah.
running at large is 2.15.
So
Yeah.
running at large would be off leash and
Gotcha,
away
yeah.
from the owner, right?
Dog is off the owner's property and is not being carried by a person or is not on a permitted leash held by a person able to control the dog.
Okay. So if somebody has a dog that is off leash but controlled by them, then that's okay. Which is fine. Like I'm not saying
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that. Okay.
no, it doesn't say that though, Paul.
But the bylaws try, like, I guess you have to, the way, I don't want to over structure it, I've structured it enough to, when a situation arises that this is where the problem comes in, care and control of a dog. Everybody has a different definition of care and control of a dog. If you know your dog, and everybody does feel like they know their dog, if a situation arises and the incident happens, even though your dog normally wouldn't do it, but something happened, these are the criteria they're gonna look at.
Right. Okay.
But if Paul's walking his dog and he knows that his dog obeys it's just like an open dog park.
Then
It's
that's
off
no
leash.
issue.
But it says here, you have to be on leash.
It's not a permitted leash. It says running at large means a dog that is off the owner's property and is not carried by a person
Or on leash.
is not on a permitted leash.
Yeah.
Held by a person able
Yeah.
to control the dog.
So it says basically, if you're off property, you have to be leashed. That's what this says.
Yeah,
It's tough because if the situation arises, that's one of the things they're gonna deal with, right?
right, but
If
I-
the situation,
I don't think we need to, I don't think we're at the point that we need to say the entire village needs to be an on-leash area. I think, you know, where we talk about threatening dogs and aggressive dogs must be on leash. If a dog is off leash, but with the owner under their control, I think we're fine with that. Plain
And I
simple.
wouldn't even,
Except,
I wouldn't look
I-
at that situation. Unless something else arose, like if your dog attacked another dog, then I have to deal with the situation.
Then it becomes a threat, then it becomes a threatening or a dangerous
that's
dog,
different
an aggressive or a
bylaw,
dangerous
different
dog.
portion.
Right,
Leona,
but then,
Leona had a butt or
Yeah.
something.
well, my but is if we basically say off leash is okay, then it becomes subjective. It is your dog, is your definition of your control of the dog correct? Like if the dog doesn't listen to you, like let's say a coyote comes out and that dog starts fighting with the coyote or starts fighting with another dog that's larger. I mean, my dog, I don't believe is vicious or attacking, but there are instances when another dog comes along that is aggressive, that she becomes aggressive. And so even though I'm there and usually have control of her, I'm quite happy that she's on a leash and I can control her, right? Because it's their instinct to go into that fight mode. So I don't mind this as long as the bylaw officer, and I think that's part of the communication that we have to have, as long as the bylaw officer isn't coming around and ticketing everybody that has their dogs off leash. It's one of those things, yeah, kids aren't supposed to drive quads, but the RCMP aren't going to give tickets. If they treat it as an education type of a thing, like, are you going to be able to control your dog if another one comes along? You know, all of those things. Do you know that you are going to be liable if something happens? If they treat it as an education opportunity, great. If they start ticketing just simply because a dog isn't on a leash, I'm not so happy about that. But
Yeah,
and
but,
I do know that they need something that
But-
isn't subjective.
but all it
When
takes
we were-
though, all
when
it,
we
all
were
it,
doing sorry, when we were doing the bylaw, understanding we are only complaint based, they're not out here all the time.
okay, so let's say we have this bylaw like we have here, which states then that not being on leash is running at large. You have one person in the community that does not like dogs, and every time they see a dog off a leash, they call the bylaw officer. The bylaw officer under this bylaw has to ticket. It's going to take one non-dog person to, if we say dogs must be on leash, then ultimately we're going to have problems with this. I think. I think running at large, dog that is off the owner's property and is not under control of that person. And a dog can be under control of the person when it's off of leash if it's responding to that. And I think the concerns about a dog getting into fights or other things, well, that's covered by the threatening dogs or dangerous dogs policy. And then it does have to be on leash if it's a threatening dog.
Can I throw
So
a
what
devil's
if you were-
advocate?
So what if you were to add one more, like move the or, like, is not being carried by a person, comma, is not on a permitted leash held by a person able to control the dog. So in other words, a 4-year-old can't be holding on to a German Shepherd. And then put or under the care and control of verbal commands of the owner.
Hmm.
My thing is, here's my devil's advocate. You can have control of a dog, like you can have the best trained dog ever. It's still an animal, it still has instinct. Because even if it's that dog's like, say, dog's coming up to me, charging at me, and then last minute it decides it's gonna finally listen to its owner, I'm still threatened.
And that's the perception that you're gonna be dealing with.
But then
Is that true
fits the
control of the
definition
dog?
of that fits the definition of a threatening dog in this bylaw.
Exhibits threatening behavior toward a person. The only one we have a problem is running an off leash, running at large. So running at large, dogs off the owner's property and not carried or leashed.
Carried by a person or is not on a permitted leash held by the person able to control the dog. Or by commands.
Or in control of the dog.
We didn't have a definition
By
for
command.
control.
We're going under 2.15.
Or just what about just in control of? Do you need to say by verbal command or by?
I think you're gonna need a definition for what's in control, and we don't have one.
Okay, well, we'll review that. So we'll add either into public space or another new definition, in control, and ask animal control to help us define it.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Because
And you may have to adjust 2.15.
yeah, and adjust 2.15 to reflect it.
Okay, that sounds good. I think I had a couple of other minor things on there. I think we covered all of this. Okay, into section 13.
13, okay.
13.3. No person shall untie, loosen, or otherwise free a dog that has been tied up or otherwise restrained, and so on and so on and so on. Should that be no person other than the owner? Because that's kind of saying, I was reading that and think, what? But I think we mean no person that is not the owner shall do these things. Obviously, the owner can, otherwise the owner can obviously do these things.
If you put in other than the owner, then that clarifies it.
Yeah.
Okay, so under section 13, make sure that no person.
Well, except if you read that, no person other than the owner may throw, poke any object, so that means the owner can throw, poke objects through the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think no person just allows for,
Abusing a dog.
yeah.
Okay.
I think that's how it was meant.
I can get more definitions for you and see what animal control, because we also have to take a look at this when this goes to court, legally as it sounds.
Yeah. Maybe it could be in section A, no person shall untie, loosen, or otherwise free a dog which has been tied or otherwise restrained by owner.
Yeah,
Section
there
B, in which a dog has been confined by owner. Maybe that's the way to get around it. And section C can then stay the same.
13.3.
And then 13.4, subsection 13.2 A and B do not apply to a person acting under lawful direction of a peace officer. 13.2 A and B say you cannot interfere with a peace officer.
Correct.
So that makes no sense. A peace officer would not give permission for somebody to interfere with them. I think that that subsection might apply to other points in there, but not
Okay.
13.2 A and B.
Re-review 13.
I don't think it's needed at all.
We'll review that with animal control also.
Okay.
Okay.
Question marks are to review.
Yes. I would like they're clear to help me analyze, like, okay, this is what we heard from you guys.
Yeah.
Give us the interpretation clearly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then 13.5, imprisonment for up to 6 months. can we imprison under a bylaw offense?
I think a judge can.
It's up to the courts. Once it gets into court, they're gonna look at what options we have.
Okay, so courts can impose prison fees for bylaw offenses.
Correct.
Okay,
Yes.
But they have
Okay.
to have direction from council to see what's the range of those fees.
And I think you gotta look at it from the perspective of, they're only gonna look at some of this stuff when it's in a dire situation, like say some of the situations lately where dogs are attacking people.
Mhm.
People are actually getting hurt.
Yeah.
And then they're seizing and they're getting more dogs and it's the same thing over and over. This is gonna give them another mechanism, right?
Okay, that sounds good.
In the same
Um,
order, we're not-
Yes.
and then under section A penalties,
Yeah.
I was just a little bit curious on some of the amounts. Like for a lot of the offenses, the first offense is $100 until you get down to dog barks or howls that annoys a person, and that's $250. And I was wondering what makes that one that much more serious, apparently, that it warrants a bigger fine, as an example.
I did a comparison with other municipalities and that's where they're at. So if you don't like that one for the howling, if you want to change that and lower it, that is your guys' call. But the comparison I did around other municipalities was pretty well the same.
I just didn't really see what makes it different than some of those other low-level offenses.
I'm okay with reducing it to 100, 250, and 500.
Okay?
Yeah, I would be too.
3.1
You
fine.
okay with
See,
that?
and I
Lynn?
would, yeah, I'd be okay with that. And then a dog exhibits threatening behavior towards another domestic animal, bicycle or vehicle, that one I would up. I would actually take that one and put 250, 500 and 750. Just
So
simply
4.1.
because,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I agree with that because that's getting into the more serious stuff, and that puts the bicycle offense the same as a person offense. And I was wondering about that because a person is riding a bike and it's only $100 fine, but a person is on feet and it's 250, and that doesn't make a lot of sense. So, sure,
I'm good with that. I've had that happen.
yeah, okay. That's my comments.
Okay, so what I'm gonna ask from you guys then is, first thing you should do, first reading of the bylaw.
As amended?
No,
No?
let's do first reading because first reading
Oh.
brings it into play. And then I want a motion for all the amendments. And then we'll bring it back to the next meeting.
so the question that I have with this, and I know what you're after, but the question that I have, so you've had someone who's already had 2 complaints about threatening behavior or dangerous behavior. So does those 2 complaints, and I didn't see this in here anywhere, do those 2 complaints now all of a sudden they're gone? They're not, because they're under the old bylaw. Now this person gets a pass and gets another 2 complaints before all this stuff happens.
No,
no, because those
No.
complaints are registered.
they're records.
They're on record already.
It's just
So,
your.
but it doesn't say anywhere in here that those complaints under the prior bylaw apply to this bylaw. So I just want clarification on that any previous complaints will be deemed to be actions under this bylaw.
It'll be carried
When
forward
it
from
comes,
the old to the new.
right, when it comes to the court systems, they're recorded. So they will see now that if another situation arises and by the time you complete your next bylaw, those will be taken into consideration in the court system, that there's 2 priors. And now under the new bylaw, we've dealt with dangerous and
Yeah.
situations.
I just would like some reference that the prior offenses are taken into account under this bylaw as well.
I will talk with and get some information from animal control and we'll add it
Okay.
in, bring it back, because they're
Okay.
the ones to verify. I just know that our bylaw wasn't strong enough
Yeah.
from previous situation.
Yeah, I just think that when you're dealing with, and I'm not a lawyer, but we're dealing with a court system, the court is going to make a ruling based on the bylaw that was in effect at that time. And if there isn't any reference to the previous bylaw that prior offenses are included and considered under this bylaw, there's a possibility maybe that the court could say, okay, here's your new benchmark. I don't know that for sure, but I just
I'll clarify that with enforcement because I'm not the enforcement officer.
Yeah.
I'm just looking
No,
at
neither am I.
bylaw.
Maybe it's just something up at the very preamble under bylaw number 220-26 where it just says this policy supersedes but does not revoke the previous policy or something like that. Maybe it's just some verbiage like that.
No, we are going to revoke the previous
Well,
policy.
Yes, you are, because the bylaw
Right.
15215 and any amendments thereto are hereby repealed or replacing it.
Yeah, but it does not revoke findings or penalties under the previous bylaw.
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
So if you have 13.6,
Yep.
it says any person who commits a second or subsequent offense under this bylaw or the previous bylaw would cover it.
Yep.
Correct?
Yep,
Yeah,
that would.
Under this bylaw or the previous bylaw, and you could specify the number.
Yeah, 13.6 will.
there you go. Yeah,
It covers it.
Yeah.
Is
Yep,
liable to
perfect.
increase penalty. Okay,
good. That's a good catch.
We're close then.
I just was looking for it. I couldn't find it for a minute, but I got it.
Okay, so
Okay.
we're doing first reading and then there's another motion after it.
Yes,
Okay.
for the amendments and then we'll bring it back next meeting.
Okay, so motion to, we want to no, we don't want to accept.
No, you want
Motion to do first reading. That
Approve
puts it
first
on the
reading.
table.
A motion for first reading,
Yes.
correct?
Yes, so let's put their name on it.
And
I can do that.
Yeah, Paul's fine.
Paul,
Okay.
you do it, okay.
And then we want to have a second let's, all in favor? Okay, passed. Second motion,
Motion to do the following amendments and seek further clarification through animal control enforcement regarding the bylaw and bring back full
as discussed, yeah.
as discussed for prior to second and third.
Okay. Yeah, we just want some clarification that we can do that.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
so moved.
Yeah, all in favor? Moved by Leona, all in favor, passed. Okay, and moving on,
Yeah, we got one.
tangible capital assets policy. This is a housekeeping amendment.
Yes.
No, we have to do the repeal of 15215.
Can we repeal it without having the,
Oh,
The-
okay.
we can't repeal it.
So
until
then
we
I
have-
move to table the repeal of 15215 until the new bylaw is in place.
Oh, no, this is just repealing and replacing, but you haven't passed it yet. The other bylaw is still solid until third reading.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah, I
Okay.
think it still
We
applies.
don't do any repeal yet.
okay. Yeah, no, I
Okay.
don't want to repeal it yet.
No, no.
Or you have no.
You'll withdraw your motion?
Hey,
Okay, 7.1.
Okay, we good?
no, the motion was to table anyway, so that's okay.
Okay. 7.1, capital assets. So this was.
Just housekeeping amendments to bring it in line with some of the standards that are out there, because we didn't quite have it right.
It is old.
So, re-reviewed,
2010.
it's actually a public sector accounting standards, PSAS section. That's all changed.
Comments?
So did you, by any chance, this has more to do with the financial audits than anything else? Did you run this by the auditors?
They've been using our previous one, I haven't ran this by. If you wish us to have the auditors do a review of this, we can table this to the auditors for review.
I
Are they-
probably would be simply
Okay.
because if there's something in there that causes them some issues, because they have to abide by this. And they're the ones that are using it more than us, but, well, not more than us, because we of course have to have standards for our tangible capital assets, but whatever is in here, they have to abide by when they're doing that audit as well.
So you want a motion to table, have auditor do review and provide feedback.
Correct.
Correct.
So, Leona,
I
all in
think
favor?
Leona did that.
Yeah. Passed.
Hey, we're getting to somewhere.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's good comment, Leona.
Perfect.
Okay, Hall Society transition. Okay, this one confused me a little. In that I thought further down, I thought we were having this office assume a lot of those admin responsibilities and not a contractor. Contractor was for the cleaning services, but we were taking over the management of the administration management services. But this almost says that we're gonna hire somebody to manage all that.
Well, we're kind of caught in between. A lot of the events are on the weekend. We want to have somebody solid who can be available for the cleanup, do the inspections, because we will be taking deposits.
And my understanding was that the Hall Society was still going to be somewhat responsible for making sure that that the checklist was completed properly. Or on Monday that we then went through the checklist, or there was some response to that. But I didn't think we were gonna hire a contractor.
Well, we will have to hire a cleaning person.
Oh, that's different.
Yeah.
But it says here, and contracted hall manager and caretaker. Caretaking, yes, and then a little further, contracted hall manager. I didn't think we were gonna look at contracting a hall manager. We were gonna look at contracting caretaking or cleaning services. Is
So
that,
I'm seeking clarity. This is something I've gone through and did a lot of research on other municipalities, what they're doing, how they operate.
okay,
So this and then we have to take a look at when we contract it out. Are they gonna have WCB? Do they fall under ours? Like.
for the
there's-
cleaning staff, absolutely, but if it's our own staff that's administering the bookings, do we need a hall manager for that? I think we can do our bookings. For checking to say, did they complete the checklist? That's probably, we could do that, but if it was on a Sunday or Saturday and there was somebody else renting on a Sunday, then, the Hall Society has agreed to do that preliminary check, ensure the checklist was completed. So we covered off the weekend stuff.
Yeah, I don't think we
So-
knew about the hall people being
Yeah,
able
we
to help
don't
on
have
that.
Yes, we did. Yeah, we did. That was
So-
discussed.
Yeah.
That was discussed at the last meeting when this was actually put forward. I agree with Dan completely. It was my understanding that administration was going to do the bookings when we're only talking about 5 to 7 bookings a year, and then, and then our community people booking it. Otherwise, I don't see the need for a manager other than a cleaner. I understand the need for WCB and all of that kind of stuff when the person is hired by the village administration. I can't argue with that, but I believe that we should be in charge of the administration of that particular facility, not a contractor. The other thing that I have some issue with is the FAQ that came out. To me, you're putting a red flag all over it saying, oh, gee, I'm just going to quell everything that's going to be said out there ahead of time before anything actually is said by anyone. Like I
don't think we need it.
it really bothered me. It
They're
really
throwing
bothered me.
stuff out to
Yes, it was a red flag for me as well.
Like, this isn't what, this is just the information, doesn't mean it's going out, this is why you're having these discussions.
Yep.
Well, but
Because
it's
you're-
in our public minutes. It's in our
Yeah.
public minutes, Melissa. So anybody that goes and reads this is, I mean, yeah, it's there.
Yeah, I would remove that whole section. Attachment B,
Yep,
delete that.
okay,
And I would change it from, I don't know if it's caretaker is the right word, but there's two roles, there's three roles here. One is the booking and the, the calendar stuff. One is who kind of says, yes, it's the checklist has been done, and who cleans it.
okay,
Because the checklist getting done and the cleaning, it might be that that's part of the checklist. The cleaner didn't do the checklist, or the renter didn't do the checklist. So someone still needs to be in charge of that.
okay,
But I do not think it's on page 48, it says managing hall bookings and renter communications. That's not for the contracted person. And I think I agree that the contractor should have the basics, insurance and all of that, because they are contracted to us now, and we do have more obligations. But I just think the contracted model is more for the cleaning of it.
so are you guys okay if we went out and they don't have insurance, do we cover it? Under the WCB and everything else?
Under WCB, you have to.
Yes.
Well, it's either they carry it or we
They
have to
carry
put
it
it
or
under.
we do.
Correct,
So
yes.
are you guys okay with, depending on what comes from when we go out to do the cleaning proposal? If
For
they-
the amount of money that it's gonna cost, I would say yes.
That they should have WCB and
No,
general
that,
liability.
that if they don't have WCB, that
We
we
would-
cover it.
Okay, that's good clarity.
Okay. And then we're gonna change the whole structure of this section.
Yeah.
To
So
be,
really what you're looking for is, so we'll work into the budgets that we will find some kind of way to be able to track everything, booking it. We'll make sure we figure that out. Cleaning will be a contractor position. I will make sure in the budget, we make sure we have enough coverage to pay for WCB and all that, because they'll we'll try and figure out, are they a casual, part-time? I'm not sure how we're gonna have to
Yeah.
structure that.
you would still, you would still do it as, it's a subcontractor insurance is what it's called.
Okay,
Under
Yep.
WCB.
okay,
It's not an employee. If you hire a contractor that does not have WCB, you're responsible for covering it.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just gotta make sure how we've gotta work it with WCB and everything else.
Yep, and then this needs to be restructured so that the village is responsible for managing and booking and that.
Yeah.
And the village is also responsible for the that the checklist has been, that the checklists have been completed.
And that doesn't mean that you and Aaron absolutely have to do it. You can assign someone to do it. Like, for example, if someone from the Hall Society is your backup, that's fine. All you have to do is cause it to be done. And so if that means that you're getting one of us as counselors or someone from the Hall Society to do that checklist on a Sunday or a Saturday, that you're causing it to be done. So maybe that's the terminology that you need rather than it's
Okay.
just you guys doing it, right?
So once we get this organized, I would like to have a meeting with the Hall Society members.
Yep.
So that we
Yep.
get clarity on the contacts that we can use and who's gonna be available, so that we're not all trying to run around at last minute.
Correct.
No, that's right. Yep.
I think
Okay.
we're moving in the right direction.
Okay, so the motion should have some of this clarity. Can you?
Not the motion. I think the motion is fine the way that it is because it's the procedures and policies that
Yeah.
you are developing for the takeover. And so I think the motion itself, it says it works towards the policies, implications, and budget required. That's your direction. And
Thanks.
so who looks after it is part of policy. It's
Yeah.
not necessarily a motion.
Okay,
Who wants to move that?
I think Leona just did.
Okay.
All in favor? Yeah.
Well, it was already carried the last meeting, Dan.
Oh, right. Oh, it's that. So we don't need to, but we're sending them back to do more.
More change in work on this. So
It needs
we've got
Yes.
better,
We need a motion to send it back to that?
yes, to make the noted changes and clarity.
Okay,
on this.
so moved.
Okay. Yeah, which basically does, yeah,
Cause you've had your discussion, the structure is gonna be this now.
but it does repeat the previous motion almost.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're still a work in progress.
That's what it's all about.
Okay. Moving on to the benefits.
So we've been doing a review of the benefits with budget on its way. So we found that there's some opportunity here. So we would like clarity from council on if you're okay with us proceeding with moving to another option.
I was unclear about I'm not gonna use the word benefit, about the advantage of moving to a new policy. Like, what are we looking for that the old one did not have? If it's still the same premium split, if it's still, like, the only thing that I could see was possibly adding some long-term disability or something in there. Is that, what are we getting by switching to group health? I didn't see a huge amount, and I tried to glean it out of all that, you know, their proposal.
Yeah, I was the one listening to it that day. What was it called?
Do you Paul, Leona?
I'm not, I think it's good to compare against the different options available, and I wouldn't be opposed to moving from Blue Cross to Group Health if it seems like it's got some improvements on it. I know there's the two alternatives, one of which is relatively rate neutral and one of which is a slight enhancement to the program. I didn't really see when I looked at it quickly that the enhanced benefits really offer that much more that would be important. But if based on the review that you guys have done, if you recommend Group Health over Blue Cross, I'm not opposed to a switch.
There was travel insurance with Blue Cross is only 30 days.
Where
Oh,
the
this
new
one's
one-
180, which we're never get that far. But
Okay.
there's that. What was it called? IBNR ROR. It's a little bit different with group health. There's no slush fund. It goes right to the premiums or whatnot. It's kind of different. Another one was hospital stays. So if one of us had longer hospital stays, we are entitled to, I think it's like $25 a day to help. So that could help with parking or whatever. After five days and over. And then what was the other one? I'm just thinking.
A family assistance program.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other one is if we ever happen to one of us has to get into one of these really expensive prescriptions that at first the benefits won't cover, there's that Pharmacare?
Yeah, Pharmacare.
Pharmacare that will, it's a process to help like get AHS to help
Offset.
offset it or pay for it.
The cross one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there are drugs out there that sometimes, depending on your infection, you must have the brand, you can't have the generic.
Or there's no generic.
Yeah.
And then I guess for me, I'm the only one with a kids who are still growing. They've raised it from 22 to 20, or during school to 26 for benefit to keep them on the benefits. If I'm still here by then.
As long as they stay in school or college,
Yeah.
they expanded it out with the other one for Blue Cross Blue.
I think the other one.
For me, it was, to me,
Okay.
because there really isn't a
Yeah.
big change in cost, it all comes down to what you guys are comfortable with. as to how Blue Cross pays, how this group health pays? Like, in group health, do you have to pay ahead of time, or are they going to, and then submit, or are they going to cover it? And then you don't have to pay it all. Those are things that I think I would consider more than anything else, because I didn't see a huge difference. But for me, it's what you guys are more comfortable with, because as a council, it's not going to make a big difference to us.
We just wanted to make this very transparent and open that we have reviewed and these other things, and group health now is more affordable for small municipalities because they've taken all the small limited staffing and pooled them. So it's
Yep.
creating a better option.
So Leona, you're suggesting in the proposed 3 options, option 2, that we proceed.
I am, yeah. Yeah.
Proceed with the transition that results in an overall cost neutrality or modest savings. So if it's not gonna cost any more and you feel that it is more beneficial, I didn't see huge, but there might be small tweaks that, you know, that might help. I would be okay with that. I do not think that, you know, we have to stay with Blue Cross. And I do not think that we need to increase the benefits at this time, but let's at least get cost neutral stuff.
And then
Absolutely.
keep analyzing it.
Yeah,
moving
And
forward.
then moving on, yeah.
Yeah, oh, that's the other thing, guarantee our rates was longer too.
Because we did get an increase already.
Yeah, we did from Blue Cross within a year. So dental rates were, health and dental rates are guaranteed to May 1st, 2027. And then life, ASI and LTD rates are guaranteed to May 1st, 2028. So
So
that's a nice thing
there was
too.
enough benefits or extras
Yes.
that, for no extra cost, that it would be worthwhile.
Mhm.
Paul, what's your thoughts?
I'm in agreement with both of you guys on that. I'm fine with that cost neutral one,
Okay.
option 1 or 2,
Okay,
whatever that one is.
So Leona made that motion, all in favor? Okay. And. Where is that?
Going through the budget stuff.
Yeah,
So can you give me a page number on the budget stuff?
yeah, I'm looking for that too. 70.
Was that the COLA? What's the next one?
It's COLA next. Oh,
Yeah, sorry,
you're on-
71.
I don't have the page numbers on this copy.
71.
Okay, thank you.
So
I can't
cost,
open my agenda and my thing at the same time,
Yeah.
so.
Oh, sorry.
yeah, it's 71 and it's a COLA. And so any discussion?
My one comment is not that I'm opposed to a cost of living adjustment. I'm just wondering about timing, because we have not seen the overall budget yet. And we don't know what effect this is going to have on the overall budget. So can this motion be part of the general financial budget rather than a separate motion? No, I'm not against it. I just want to see the whole thing in its entirety rather than piecemealing it.
So then motion to defer this.
Well, I think it's more than that. I think, and I agree, that was the same gut I had. I didn't want to tie our budget by going, oh, they've approved a COLA, so now we automatically have that expenses. We wanted to look at those expenses when we go to look at the budget. So we are deferring it to the budget.
That's fine.
Is that what, Leona?
I'm good, because this
Okay.
is set so that I know that there's
Yeah.
the percentage of whatever. So,
So,
I think, Melissa, for me, what I would do is I would prepare the budget, and that's part of your budget notes. Is I would prepare the budget as if a COLA was going to be applied. And then
Okay.
at that point in time, what you're doing is you're giving the rationale for, okay, we've applied COLA to the wages, and you know, and then as a council, we can say, okay, well, you know what, that maybe we could afford a little bit more for staff retention or whatever, or maybe we need to go back to what we were, but at least then we're seeing it in its entirety. So as your job, you're simply going to say, okay, well, I believe that COLA would apply in these circumstances, so I'm going to put it in the budget, and then we adjust from there.
Okay, so I think option one is what we're kind of going for, tweaked.
Well,
Direct
you're-
administration to build the budget with a no cost of living adjustment and a noted cost of living adjustment.
Sure. That gives us the options that, or the implications to the budget.
Correct. And then defer decisions to budget approval.
Correct.
Make sense?
We don't wanna make a separate, motion on that.
Okay,
Because
I got
we've
it.
got the information prepared, so now I can work through stuff. Yeah,
so yeah, we're building a budget with no COLA and then one with a noted COLA adjustment and deferred decision to budget approvals.
Almost option 3, except the word include rather than exclude.
Option 3. Oh, include, yeah.
there you go.
Change that word, it makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. So would that be effective January 1st or when the budget is passed, or when
Yes.
is there an effective
Yes.
date on that?
Everything's always, until you approve budget, it goes back to January 1st.
Okay.
Okay, motion made. All in favor? Okay. Now the town, or the road, sorry, with the county. So this was a discussion that we are one of only suggested 5 villages or small, that do not have a paved access.
Yeah.
This is strictly access road. And that to do that, we would have a discussion with the county to designate 40-4 as a secondary road. We'd have to go to the province with the county. Could we do this with or without the county?
Well, this is part of advocacy. You're bigger and better when you collaborate.
Absolutely.
And because the county has already kind of done some preliminary work on expenses and costs and stuff, there's a lot of knowledge already built and they do a lot of advocacy because they go to 2 conferences
Yep.
every year. And this might be the way to start the conversations. Advocacy is a start. We don't know where it's gonna go, but it's a start. And if funding could become available that would help offset any cost to us, could be very beneficial.
Leona, Paul?
So, in layman's terms, if we become part of the provincial road network, does that mean it turns from a township road into a highway? Is that the implications of what I'd see on the road signage?
Yeah, be a secondary highway.
Correct, it would be designated as a secondary highway, and then it would fall under their standards and their decision to pave or not pave. But
And
they
road
would
bans and things like that?
road bans, they'd have to
They would be
determine what standards. It might be raising the road, might be putting culverts in, might be making deeper ditches. It would have to meet the provincial standards for a secondary road.
Okay.
And would
Okay.
get on their list.
That would certainly be beneficial, I think, to White Sands. How would County of Stettler view this possibility? Would
Well,
they?
this is why you're going to seek this.
Yeah, but do we have any sense on whether they'd say,
Yep.
yeah, this is awesome, or if they would say, no, we want to keep you under our
If-
thumb, or I don't know.
I do believe that if it is designated as a secondary road, then they get provincial funding for that secondary road, if they get hired to maintain it. Okay?
Okay,
So
so
then,
potentially
then
the
it would be
county would
that.
still maintain it, but they maintain it under a government of Alberta contract, not under their own budget.
yeah, I'm not absolutely positive on that, but a secondary road delineation would certainly change how that road is dealt with. Because I know as a private citizen, I sent a letter to our MLA about this a couple years ago. And the response I got back was, sorry, can't help you. This is under the county control. So if it does become designated as a secondary highway, now the provincial government has some ability for funding that particular piece of road. So that would be beneficial to the county, period. My only comment on this is, one, I think in the letter that gets sent, we should mention that we're only one of 5 communities, and we need to get, Leanne was the one that mentioned that, and she's got that background information. So I believe that that should also be included in the letter for the advocacy. I also believe that maybe also approaching Bar W and Roshan Sands in this. I mean, it would benefit Roshan Sands in that there's another access for communities to the east to access Bar W and Roshan Sands. So maybe the more people that we have signing on this letter might be better.
One thing that I discovered about a year and a half ago was that this isn't the route that the county.
That's right.
So the county route, the 2 out of the 8 choices that were put forward, they felt that the majority of the traffic was going directly south. And this was not the approved or the preferred route. Their route was, either going south to the 4-way stop or going south straight through and cutting a new road, going directly south to, what is it,
601.
601, or going slightly through our village and then going up that other road. So this was not even on their radar. So us proposing this, we would have to, that's likely what they would come back with, is, well, that's not the route we want. It's a route, so we would have to look at that. If we involve these other partners, because Bar W would then technically, we'd get a lot more traffic on that road, because that's the paved road that they would use through the village. And same with Bayside and all that, if people didn't want to go on the gravel.
I think initially what you want to do is approach the county that you're willing to work for joint advocacy and see if they are willing.
I still like the idea of proposing that particular road and then let them come back and say, well, that won't work for our other partners. I don't know. Or they might say, yeah, okay, we agree with that. That just throws a, I think the letter needs to go out. And I like the fact of specifying a particular road to be changed. And then let them come back with a different plan. It puts it on their agenda.
Yeah.
And I would like that 5 community comment in that draft letter as well.
Okay, so we'll amend the letter to include that there are only,
That there are benefits to other communities.
yes, there's a minimal amount of communities that don't have actual.
Yeah.
good
No,
access.
Dan, that wasn't my point. My point is the other communities is just including more people in for advocacy. My point in the draft letter is if we're only one of 5 communities in all of Alberta that does not have secondary road access, that is,
Yeah.
well, I don't want to say detrimental, but
It's more of a reason to.
it's more of a reason to do it under fairness and accessibility for tourism and all that kind of fun stuff.
Do we know that for a fact that we
I
are?
don't have the facts yet, but I will do the research before. and
Let's get that clarified before we state.
So to clarify,
Yeah.
how many communities within Alberta do not have paved access?
I want to
So-
I don't use that word yet.
Okay, what?
I think we want to use the word that you.
Secondary road access.
No, you used it, urban approach road.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You used that in your title.
Yeah.
Joint advocacy with the County of Stettler, Township Road 40-4, urban approach road.
And that's in her letter.
Yeah, but I think that's more the language we want to use rather than saying, hey, we want a paved road. Even if it's a secondary road, it still might not be paved for a few
No,
years,
it's like-
but it's going to be upgraded.
Yes,
It would be upgraded, and the upgrading cost would be borne by the province
that's what we're
as
looking for.
opposed to the county.
Or ourselves in
Or ourselves.
conjunction,
But
because
601 east after Red Willow Road, for a while, it's not paved.
Yeah.
So it's something that's not new.
Yeah.
So,
But it's still that we're advocating that we are one of the few communities, and if we can't say definitively 5, but we are one of the few communities in Alberta that does not have an urban approach road, a provincial
urban road. approach.
secondary urban approach road. Correct?
Yeah.
That's more what we're looking for, and yes, eventually
Yes.
we'd like to see that paved, but we want to take the cost burden off of the county, off of us, and put it onto the province.
okay, we will amend the letter and get it out after the meeting.
Okay,
That makes
I'll
sense.
make that motion.
Okay,
All in favor? Okay. Climate risk assessment. Now, this was for the preliminary work to
yes,
do, look at the stormwater management and the flood mitigation and the drainage and all of that.
yeah, and I've been doing the research on this, we've been working
Okay.
together.
Any comments on this, Paul or Leona?
So 2 quick questions. So just want to clarify, we've been looking at the 2 different programs. One is provincial and one is the
FCM.
federal rural municipalities, or whatever the 2 groups are. This would apply and be applicable for both those potential programs, what we're proposing here?
That's what we have figured out, and we're thinking that once the FCM opens up, we're gonna try and apply under that. We're just watching the timeline on this.
Yeah. Okay. Now, my other question, when I look at, I think some of your options, essentially do the work right now, fund it ourselves, I think, versus wait for funding under one of these programs to do these. But I thought from what we read is that to apply for funding on either of those programs, we have to do this climate risk assessment first. So I don't want us to like.
No, there was grant funding to do the research under the federal.
FCM.
Under the federal one, there was 2 phases. One is do your research, here's some money for that. And then the second one was now do the operational aspect of that.
Correct.
Okay.
Under the provincial, you would have had to have all the grant readiness,
Correct.
you would have had to pay for it.
I mean, in perspective, it's if you get the grant for the federal one, you can then apply to either one. It helps you do the paperwork, basically.
Okay. So the
And the
option then essentially is wait until the federal program opens up, apply for funding to do this climate risk assessment, and then be ready to apply to the next steps on either provincial or federal.
Correct.
Okay. And
Yes.
when would the federal program typically open up for applications?
When I looked, it's still not open yet, I don't have any idea. I guess some of it will relate to when they do their budgets, right?
Is there an application process at this time? Can we get in the queue?
There's nothing yet, it's waiting. Like,
When
was-
when was their last intake program?
When I went to the site to see if the funding opportunity is open, it says for 2026, it's not open yet. So we've gotta keep going, I don't have any
Okay,
idea.
so
It's not a new program. It was in
Okay.
2025.
Yeah.
And then at a certain point they opened, but as soon
Yeah,
as they
okay.
opened the gates, it was fully subscribed. So we want to be
Okay.
right on top of it.
But
Yeah.
so the implication is they said 2026 program not open yet. So the expectation is there will be a 2026 program.
Correct.
Okay.
That's what we're expecting, yes, so that's why I'm kind of going more with option 2, that I'll continue coordinating with the municipal engineers so that we're ready to jump on this and get everything in.
Right. Okay.
Can we also check either with our engineers or EXP to say, can you keep track of this too?
Yes, that's my plan.
Okay, so not just us looking at it, because they may have a, yes, you don't know this yet, but we heard it's coming in March, or we heard it's coming in. So I want to keep.
And that's
top-
what I'm doing, I'm working with them, and that's why we were trying, like, we know the provincial one is the fall. This one is the key.
Yeah, we
because
want to be
this-
fully prepared to take and jump on it, because those things
Yes.
open and close real quick.
You get 2 weeks,
Yeah.
that's it.
And
Yeah.
if we
So
happen
Melissa, when, so part of Paul's question is when was 2025 application open? Do you know that?
I don't off the top of my head when that was open. Or even if it did open in 2025, it could have still been 2024. That they were operating and doing all their projects, so I would have to provide that at the next meeting. Or you can review the.
Well, I don't think we need to be provided with it to pass either option 1, 2, or 3.
No.
I'm just thinking that that would give you some indication of when you should be really looking for it.
Yeah,
Because if it normally comes out in March or April or May, then you know, okay, my spidey senses have to be really alert during that period of time.
yeah. I think a lot of those programs also have, sign up for email updates to the program. So you can just
Yeah, we get
sign up
that.
for that and then they'll notify you. You'll get an
Yeah.
email when it's opened up. You could do that as well. And I think talking to EXP and the municipal consultant to, like Dan suggested, I think is a good idea too.
Well, and I wanna get on top of this with the municipal engineers by saying, okay, let's get everything ready to apply for a grant once it opens.
Yeah.
That's what I'm.
Yeah,
looking for.
I would want to be fully prepared so that the day
Yeah.
of we're submitting.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like it's that tight. And I don't want to miss that. So the motion was to, I think it was 2.
Option 2.
Option 2, yeah.
Okay,
Who wants to put their name on it?
sure.
So we're on top of it.
Yes.
Thank you.
So you need option 2 as a motion, Melissa?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dan moved it, directs administration in coordination with the municipal engineering consultants to continue advancing stormwater and drainage grant readiness and prepare applications under both federal and provincial programs once funding
Yeah.
takes in 2026.
Okay, all in favor? Okay, passed. And jumping to,
The big job.
yeah,
Well, this one, this is for you guys. I got a request in, a resident request, and I'm looking for approval.
okay, I'm still.
What's
trying.
the page number on the geocaching?
Page, what can I ever read?
Where's your bookmark?
110.
There you go.
Thank you.
111,
111,
111 actually.
sorry.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
So I've kind of drafted a letter because I think it's a good idea, but it's for you guys to approve
Or not approved.
or not approve.
I think there is.
From my perspective, I liked that in your letter, you said that you would, that we would look at it for a period of 1 year and then review it. I think the initial reaction might be not in my backyard from some people, but if you approve it and they find that it's not intrusive to their enjoyment of their properties and everything else, then, and they know that it's only a 1 year approval, I think you'll get better feedback. So for me, yeah, because you have to remember that geocaching brings people from other parts of the province into our community. Or it can, not necessarily, but it can, because there are people that's what they make their summer vacation on is geocaching. So, yeah, you are always going to have outside community members looking for these geocaches.
And in fact, there, if I'm not mistaken, when we first moved here, we found one in Bar Harbor
Oh, there you
by
go.
accident. We were doing some orienting research or whatever. And so it is, and so it would extend and play into that, into the Bar Harbor lands and possibly Boss Hill if they go that route. but it could tie into a whole process. So yeah, I like the idea that let's give it a shot and, you know, and if we don't, if it finds that it does create something weird, we can always pull that back.
And I
Yeah.
think that's the nice thing is the feedback. If you don't try the
Yeah.
innovation, you don't know.
Yeah.
So I did propose a motion, if you guys are good. So on page 113,
I got control.
the
Okay.
council approve under the authority of the use of public lands bylaw number 19823, the placement up to 3 recreational geocaches on municipal public lands within the Summer Village of White Sands for the 2026 season, subject to administration confirming appropriate locations and issuing a permission letter with ongoing maintenance the responsibility of the resident.
Okay.
If you're good with
Yep.
that.
Okay.
What-
Leona,
Yep, I'll move that. That's
Yeah.
fine.
So we're approving it as a
favor?
2026 pilot is what we're
Correct.
doing, yeah. Okay, perfect. I like that too. I'll support that.
And
okay,
get back to them today too.
Just as a note, Aaron, if you can put that in there in the newsletter about the geocaching and that it is only a 1-year approval and we're looking for feedback from residents
Yeah,
after the in 2027.
I like the idea of calling it a pilot rather than calling it just a 1-year approval because
Okay,
that's a little bit more, it's a little bit more positive.
Okay,
okay.
we note.
I thought it was very cool when I got this in.
Yep. No, I am somewhat familiar with this. Okay, that was that.
So 7.7 was the addition, the appointment of assessment review board official.
Correct. Sorry, I'm just trying to get there.
That is page 118.
Oh, I don't have it in this version.
Oh.
Sorry. Go
It
ahead.
was a separate document under a
Right.
separate Word document.
Oh, that's when it screwed up
That's why,
saving,
yeah, it screwed me
sorry.
up too.
It's on the website though.
Okay, we've got it. You want me to just walk you through it really quick?
Sure.
So the purpose of this is to appoint the assessment review board, which is the officials for 2026. It's a requirement under section 454 of the MGA. And to confirm, I'm confirming the eligible parcel count, so you guys will know what the annual fees are. So we do a regional. So the CRAS fees are based on eligible parcels as of January 1st. We've confirmed our total parcels is 450. We have exempt parcels of 447. So eligible parcels fee purpose is 403. The ARB appointment is the chairman, which is Raymond Ralph. ARB clerk is Gerald Omarin. Certified panelist is 7.
Yeah, you got them all listed there. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. There's a lot of names. And then the financial implications as part of our budget is our core fee is 900, our parcel fee is 35 cents times the 403, so that's another 141. So our estimated 2026 budget number will be $1,041.05.
Okay.
And so I'm looking for you to appoint
Those people.
Yes.
As per the.
chairman, clerk, and panelists.
Yep. Any discussion?
So how, I just, not really discussion, but question. One, we have to do this under the MGA Act, so we don't
Yes.
have a choice, really.
Yeah.
Two, but how much input do we get into the appointment of these people?
Because
And
we
is
are-
there an application process?
when they have a lack of, right now they have quite the pool that they pull from, so they appoint so many. The training, you must be trained, and I think that it's every 3 years, there's a possibility of maybe a vacancy. This one doesn't seem to have a lot of vacancy, because under the MTA, you have to be officially trained, you have to understand all this stuff, and so this is that separate board as a regional that looks after any of those appeals under that.
So it's almost a professional board.
Yeah.
Is what it comes down to, from my understanding.
I just find it odd that we have to do a separate motion for this and it's not part of the provincial property tax services that are actually there. It seems like it's a little bit of a downloading of the
Yeah.
provincial government into the municipal coffers so that they don't have to cover the cost.
Unfortunately, they look after the linear and those properties, but when it comes down to your basic, it is on every municipality. And that's why
Yeah.
we did the regional, because of the training costs to stay
Oh, it'd be
in line
huge,
with
yeah.
this are huge.
Yeah. Anyway,
I'll make the motion to appoint those people. All in favor? Okay. And get off of that one and back to the other one. Hang on.
Your verbal report.
Our verbal report. I had three. One is the strategic planning, which we basically deferred the discussion, but I felt that was a worthwhile exercise, and I think we took the previous councils and expanded upon it quite nicely. And looking forward to finalizing some of that. And looking forward to getting that going. Hopefully we can get that done before the budget. So then it can direct some of the budget discussion. I also, that was the only official meeting I had. I had two separate ones. One is I will be going to the Bar Harbor board and just as an invited guest, just to kind of hear what they have to say, just to part of our, we talked about, you know, just working with our neighbors. So I've been invited. I don't know when that is yet, but I believe it's in March. And then I had a contact on the disc golf. So the couple that designed and kind of sort of managed the disc golf for Roshan, I got their names and I got in contact with them, and they are excited and interested in discussing potential setting up a temporary, and hey, could we do this? And they know more about the, oh, you don't want to do that, and you don't want to put it across a road, or you don't want to put it across into a parking lot, or you don't want to impact somebody that's too close to a house. So they'll know those little hiccups,
Yeah.
as opposed to us just going, oh, this looks like a good area. You know, is it too wide? Is it too long? Is it too short? So it's more of a very, very initial discussion that I'm going to be having in the next short period of time.
Perfect.
And then the other one was I was directed by council to, I believe, between the last meeting and this one, to approach Roshan on doing a joint, or to Dan Hillier, who sits on the ASV, the Summer Village Association.
Yes.
To put a resolution forward. So he has then asked us to draft a resolution that then he would take forward for the next AGM. So that was to do with the supporting of the RCMP
Yes.
initiative. So we'll need to draft that resolution to take forward to the through Dan.
So you should do a motion.
Okay. That one requires a motion, okay? So
Yes.
a motion for administration to draft a resolution that then funnels through Dan Hillier as our rep for this region to take forward to the association.
Yeah.
Is that enough information for you, Erin?
I'm about to go take from here. Just good enough. Okay, well,
you can put that together.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, that's it for mine. Paul's is up there. Paul, do you wanna go through yours and anything important that we should be on top of?
Sure. Housing Authority meeting in January was canceled due to not too much on the agenda, and also there was a flu outbreak underway at the time that they wanted to make sure wasn't propagated by having additional people coming into the lodges. That's all cleared up. We did have the meeting February 10th after I sent out these minutes. Key updates on there is for the last several months, we've been having a lot of discussion in camera at the Housing Authority that has now been resolved. So we can talk about it now openly. It was around previous CAO that had dropped the ball on maintaining the charitable status of the Housing Authority, which would have potentially have had huge tax consequences because all of the assets of the Housing Authority, specifically the lodge that's owned, would have become taxable and a huge tax bill owing on it. So I'm happy to report that looks like they have been able to rectify the issues on that and going back to 2024, and it is now retaining its charitable status again. So very happy that that got resolved because that could have been quite a huge hit. About the only other thing of note for the Housing Authority is probably in mid-April sometime. We're trying to find the exact times, but we're going to sit down for a strategic planning session within the Housing Authority to give direction on the future of the Housing Authority. So if anybody has any ideas or thoughts on direction for the Housing Authority, I can take that forward in April. Other things. So Buffalo Lake Management Team meeting that I attended Feb 4th on Leona's behalf. Some updates that are in there on the Gull Lake filter system project and the Buffalo Lake one. So we have applied to the Alberta government to end the suspension on the pumping license. We'll wait to hear back from them on what might be needed for public consultation or other things in order to do that. But we'll watch for that. And moving forward on tenders for a consultant for design of the filter system project. It'll be similar to the one for Gull Lake, but somewhat larger in scope because of the larger system there, and the control system will need to be upgraded to modern standards at the same time as the restart. But still targeting potential 2027 pumping start on that one. They also gave updates on the Roshan Marina work there, both the removal of that Legacy Road and boat launch dredging. And they're still wanting to start it here in February. It's probably happened by now that the contractor was going to go out and drill a few test holes to ensure that the sediment under the ice is sufficiently frozen. I think they did a little bit of work at Pelican and found that all the sludge down there wasn't as frozen as they were hoping it might be. So they just wanted to get an idea before they go out there and start of what the conditions are. Pelican Point, they had the temporary boat launch that they put in there last year that I think worked quite successfully. There does not look at this point like they've got the donation of the mat rentals or the donation of the mats that they used for the boat launch. So may or may not be in place for this year. And then the last update was on the member at large vacancies, 2 positions on there. I know Lauren is one of the people that has already applied for that. They are probably out by now, but the posting should be out for applicants on that, and they'll be accepted through to towards the end of March. And then Lauren and anybody else that has applied by then will be accepted. One of the things they do want to look for is both geographic diversity of members at large around the lake, as well as some are landowners, farmers, ranchers, different things. So that may be a factor in that if, say, you get multiple applicants from within the summer village, then they may want to make sure that they get diversity across the members at large. But that will be that the applicants will be reviewed end of March. And that is my updates.
Yeah, there actually is a matrix for assessing those applications that they'll be using, so.
Yes, yes. Oh,
The
and
last-
then I believe that Dan and myself are going for this RCMP Command Center tour in Edmonton beginning of March. We're looking forward to seeing that and learning a little bit more. And I think that's tied into some of the RCMP's advocacy work, just to make sure that we're recognizing the value of their services like we talked about a few minutes ago.
Did we get a date that's earlier than that? I thought we had a date that they sent us something. Didn't we, like, this week, I thought?
I think they had wanted us to get back to them with some of the personal information so they could do their criminal record checks on us.
And we
Okay,
did that, we sent everything off to them,
oh, it is still March, yeah, sorry, it is Tuesday, March, yeah, okay. I just
because
wanted-
they had 8 spots, so I
Yeah.
guess they would have to see who's all be gonna
Yeah.
fill those 8
Yeah,
spots.
we're still both interested in going to that, I think that'd be.
Yeah, always send your names to
Okay,
Cam.
okay, Leona, did you have anything? I don't see anything written.
Other than I just sent an email into Aaron. The only thing that I had was the strategic planning session, the Buffalo Lake Management. Did they do Zoom, Paul, for the other gentleman that couldn't attend?
No, we didn't end up doing it on Zoom.
Yeah, and so that's the problem with that one is that they don't always have access to Zoom. So thank you very much, Paul, for going to that for me and taking those minutes and stuff. And I'll take a look at when the next meeting date is and go from there.
Yeah, it's in the
The
draft.
only-
The draft minutes. The next meeting
yeah,
will
it's in the
be
draft
at the Alex,
Yep.
whatever they have in Alex, and I think that one does not have Zoom.
No. And I believe I'm home for that, so that's okay. The other meeting that I have is at the end of this month, the Parkland Regional Library meeting. And it is on Zoom, so that one I will be able to attend with no problem. And that was it.
Okay, do we need to have a motion to accept those three? Yep,
Yes.
motion to accept counselors' reports,
Who wants to?
Leona.
Can
and
do it.
All in favor? Okay, and CAO report. And highlights,
Highlight reel.
the highlight reel,
Kind of went through a lot of stuff in the
yeah,
package. Okay. We, just so that, going on with what we're doing out there we had to repair the furnace in the hall.
yeah,
So that's fixed. We're continuing road maintenance, and of course now with all this snow, we're really doing road maintenance. We did have, with the freeze thaw conditions, we've been graveling and doing whatever surface maintenance we can at the parking lot. However, with the freeze thaw conditions we were getting, that whatever we did by the evening when it froze, we would still end up with icing conditions. And with the terrain and the snow melt running down, so we've been doing maintenance, staff has been applying gravel where feasible. Shifting conditions require repeated attention as melt water refreezes overnight. Public safety notice was posted. We advise users to walk with care. We've also been made aware that ice melt products have been sprinkled in the gravel parking area, and note that salt-based material is generally not good, conducive to gravel surfaces. And with lake environment, drainage from this site ultimately will flow back to the lake. We'll continue to monitor the conditions, maintain traction measures while balancing safety, operational limitations, and the environmental stewardship.
So we did have a resident fall
Yes.
in the last few weeks, and I don't know the result of that fall, but injury wise or anything, but I know we want to keep on top of that, especially now that it's covered up with a little bit of snow.
Yep.
Before you could at least see the ice, I want to make sure that we're continuing to do everything that we can to reduce the ice, to scarify where if we're able, and we want to keep on top of it, at least on the roads and in the village center.
Yeah.
You know, we want to keep on top of it, and I don't disagree with not using, you know, chemicals or salt, because that does end up in the lake. But we want to keep on top of the gravel, and if we need extra gravel or we need to put extra stuff down in that vein, I don't want to lose track of that.
No, and we have been like, we had it all gravelled up. And then now,
It was everywhere.
I don't know what we're gonna do. Back at her again.
Yeah,
So-
I don't want to lose track of that.
Nope.
And then what's the update on the Wi-Fi for the hall?
Waiting on parts.
Still waiting on our parts that we've ordered, so that's what we're waiting for, and then they will start working on that. So it's just waiting for parts to arrive to get it
Do we
going.
have any kind of date, any time frame,
It should be anytime soon, cause he thought it'd take a couple weeks, but
We talked to them on the 5th of February and still waiting for the
So
parts.
we are ordering those parts,
No,
or
he
the
is.
installer is?
he is.
IT
Installer.
Yeah.
installers, yeah.
Yeah, let's not lose track of that either.
No.
then.
No, we're on top of that one too. The dog control update. So at this point in time, tickets have been issued and we have a court date for end of March. That's as much as I can provide you at this point in time.
Okay,
We
we do, or the bylaw officer does?
the bylaw, our contracted bylaw
Yeah.
enforcement
They have.
And then our lawyer.
and the
Yeah.
lawyer and all that. So
Yeah, that's.
it's a multifaceted thing when it comes to the bylaw.
Absolutely. Okay,
Yeah, and then we've been doing some online staff training and I did the emerging trends, which was really educational. I'll provide you feedback in my next report.
did we have any update on the Explore Net?
Yeah.
The guys
Explore
coming
Inc.
into the
now.
village, Explore Inc.
Yeah.
As far as timeframes, so we're still kind of on that same as before, and I think we put that out in a communication.
Yep.
That, and it is what it is, we have no control over who it
Correct.
gets to and where it goes to. That was determined federally.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Federal and provincials out of our
Federally,
jurisdiction.
yeah,
Yeah.
the feds determined where and approved where without any
they-
input.
And the
or-
feds approved this company to come through here.
And they pay for it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have no real say in
I
that.
did have a question from a resident, and I just told her, I'm not unsure, is it to the house connection or to the road? I said, I'm unsure, but I thought it was to the house when there.
That is
Yeah, I have no
for
idea.
them to provide the details.
And then I had other
once
people-
they-
Pricing, and I said, we were told that the company will reach out to people.
Yeah.
Cause it wasn't on us.
Yeah.
So I have had some people comment about it or ask. So.
I'm sure as the season progresses from winter,
We'll get more.
we'll get more information because they're gonna notify us on when they're gonna be in here with any equipment and stuff, and they may require maybe some staging areas, I don't know.
Okay,
So-
Paul and Leona,
Yep.
any comments on any of that? Any questions?
No, you've covered pretty much everything.
Sounds good.
One other thing, development activities, so we had a meeting on February 9th.
Big one.
Okay,
That's the big one. So.
What's that?
Administration and our contracted development officer met with an interested developer regarding the approximately 40-acre parcel currently for sale in the municipality. Discussions included legislative requirements, development options, and the approval process. And we are continuing to work with the interested parties and will bring forward any required applications and approvals to council as part of the development process and information then. Okay.
okay, good news.
Yeah. I don't know if you can tell us, but is there any potential timelines on when we might see something?
I can't give you anything at this point in time.
We have not seen.
It was more about, I wouldn't say a fishing expedition, but more of a trying to get more information about what could potentially be done or not done on that land.
Okay.
It's, yeah, so anybody that's gonna buy it wants to know, can I do this or can I do that?
What's the process?
What
are
yeah, what am-
steps I need to take?
and how much money is it gonna cost me to do that?
Well, I can't say.
But they will do that. I mean, yes. So yeah, they were just clarifying some things.
It was a
So
very
do
good
they
meeting.
know, Melissa, do they know that we as a council have mandated you and our contracted officer to look at our development bylaws? That there may be some changes there?
They're well aware and they understand that there's certain statutory requirements that when it comes to development and subdivision and stuff, but when it comes down to the actual land use bylaw, that falls on the individual properties. Subdivision development is a hierarchy and a little bit different.
So when people
But they
start-
do know that we're looking at making some changes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes. Yeah, and that to them is not a concern at this point. It's
Okay.
all the other statutory requirements and processes involved.
okay.
Any other questions? No? Okay.
Just Melissa, when do you think you will have a draft budget out for us?
I am looking for trying to schedule something for about mid-March. Because then we will be kind of in closer alignment to when the provincial budget comes out, so that we have pretty good idea of where things are at. The other thing is I just found out that we've got our
Oh, right.
estimated preliminary police funding model has come out. Again, not until the budgets are approved will we know the final numbers. But we are probably gonna be going up, it says it's a percentage is 22%. We don't know all the factors involved, but we had budgeted last year 22,000. And I think we were still good. They're kind of without the modifiers saying that we're about 25,000, but there are modifiers and factors, but again, that all comes out when their budget. So I've got some numbers that I can kind of plug in, but they're not solid.
And we have little to no input on what those numbers are going to be.
Correct.
I'm sure the education tax.
Kind of
will go
like
up
the
again.
education was last year.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm looking at trying to schedule something mid-March or when everybody's available that we can do prior to the provincial budget coming out. So we have
Okay.
some things to look at.
Is it worthwhile talking about tentative dates right now? Or do you want to wait until you have a bit more information on your end, Melissa?
I would kind of like to wait and kind of closer to the end of this month, send out a thing to say, okay, feed me dates, guys, and we'll coordinate.
Do a special meeting.
Yeah, it would be a special meeting.
Yeah, outside of council. Okay. Motion to accept for as information.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, all in favor?
Hey, you did that the same as last month.
There you go. Okay, financials. Highlights, lowlights.
So where we're at, which is, this is starting to throw in all those backdated stuff that we didn't have in previous. So right now where we're sitting in total revenue is we're still looking good. Nothing's finalized yet until the auditors go through everything too. But right now, we do have a little bit of a surplus.
The amortization and stuff like that, they do
Yeah.
win.
Okay, so they'll do some small adjustments, but we're pretty close to budget for last year.
We've done good.
It's great.
I just want to keep my fingers crossed because I prefer to stay under budget, just because, and to work with the auditors a lot tighter because what's happening is, I don't know if everybody's heard on the news about the town of Gibbons.
About
Yeah.
which?
Town of Gibbons declared, I think they declared bankruptcy or or something
Well, the
like that.
province has had to step in.
Yeah, the province had to step into the town of Gibbons because they
Oh, okay.
financial, I wouldn't say mismanagement, but financial concerns.
They weren't sufficiently offsetting their operational expenses and they over exceeded their debt limit and they are at 15 million.
Yeah, they
For a municipality that's no bigger than the town of Rimbey, about not even 2,500.
so it's not the first time we've heard of that, but I guess it just points out that fiscal responsibility and tightness needs to stay.
Yes, I'm trying to make sure we're monitoring our budgets carefully. So we do what we can in the limited, but we do not want to exceed our budgets.
Yeah.
And then another one to keep an eye on is Gull Lake. Macomb County right now is reviewing a rescue on Gull Lake. So there was a huge cost in a water rescue that involved two different municipalities because the lake sits in between. So 4 different communities went to the rescue and now there's a battle over the costs.
Who's paying for what?
Well, the person that was billed, that was rescued.
Oh, so someone was, okay, the
So
actual
that is
rescue
what
on the
happened.
lake.
So it'll be interesting to watch how that works.
Okay. As far as the financials, any questions, Leona, Paul?
No.
Okay.
No.
Motion to accept the financials.
It's presented.
I'll make that.
Okay.
And all in favor, yep. Okay, moving to communications, advertising bylaw reference information.
We did this already
Yeah.
in the procedural bylaw.
Okay.
We updated, so we are
You're
compliant with
compliant
it.
with what they've sent out,
Yeah.
and by the way, are you
Yeah.
this? Okay,
And we're gonna make sure we use it. Because during my course training, cameras ran into, they didn't follow their bylaw. And they got a court case with a developer, so we will make sure we follow our bylaw.
okay. That was as far as the communications. What about the insurance for docks and such?
I'm putting that in the newsletter.
That will be
Okay,
posted.
that's, we just want people to know
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
And.
if you're putting a dock out, you should insure it if it gets damaged.
yeah,
That's on you and your insurance company.
Yeah.
Okay,
And fire too, they talked about it.
fire as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, so it's good information.
And then Cam's letter.
And then Cam's letter, and it's basically for information, but it's also saying this is what we're looking at.
Yes, that's what I got out of it. But
Hey, can we take any of this information in our resolution letter? Does it help? I mean, it's good information. Perhaps we could pick and choose, cut and paste some of the words into our letter.
I'll review it as I'm
Okay.
drafting the resolution,
Yep.
just figure out how this will work. I'll send you guys out a sample of what I draft. I don't wanna do anything until I get you guys to do.
Any feedback, comments, discussion on any of the information presented, letters? No?
No.
No.
Okay, any last chance, anything else that we should discuss?
Correspondence of the information.
Any correspondence? Yeah, well, I guess, first of all, we should do a motion to accept the correspondence as for information.
So moved.
Okay, all in favor? Okay, anything else on your mind?
I'm just curious, so I know the strat plan has been deferred to the next council meeting. Will we get a copy of that prior to the council meeting?
That was what she was supposed to send out, so you guys would have the listing and you would be able to review it. So
Okay.
unfortunately it got delayed. We pushed as hard as we can, but situations.
Yep.
But we should be able to get that background information before she presents it so that
Correct.
we're well versed in
Yes,
kind of the summary.
because there was supposed to be some more communication between you two with the list of everything too. So,
Yeah,
you get
I
it?
think we would
Yes.
like that, you know,
Yeah.
we should communicate to her, please present that ahead of time, or
Yep.
just provide that ahead of time before her presentation, so that we are, because she was gonna present and we had no background.
Mhm.
no, that was supposed to be, I know there was more that was supposed to happen prior
Okay.
to, and it's just things got a bit delayed. We will stay on top of that also and make sure that everything gets out timely manners before the next meeting.
Okay, Paul, any last words?
Nope. Good meeting. Thanks, everybody.
Good meeting.
Yes,
Enjoy the rest of your holiday, Leona. Paul, enjoy the rest.
well, it's gorgeous down here.